Hey, it's prime. We're 3 balls in, then we 3 balls out. We all up on your screens like it's prime time's route. Mighty gets a scoring. Oh, and PJ start to scout. Your rhymes really trash. What do you think he's damn fouls? TBI the show, so buckle down, sit back. And Jay we trust, cause he's the leader of the pack. It's prime, Jupo.
It's TBI, 3 balls in, alongside Logan and Davo. I'm PJs. We're back at it again. Logan, you excited for today's episode?
I am. I'm very excited.
Davo, are you excited?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic.
What is that?
This is just a nice message that you should suck it.
Are you kidding me?
I mean, hey, listen, that's for the OnlyFans. But
Wait, are we selling merch now?
We are. This will be available soon enough. We'll have TBI merch coming out. Please get it. Wear it.
Wow, I can't believe you actually wasted money on putting a sweatshirt together to tell me to suck it.
Really?
Well, first of all,
I think
you
this is
can't
great.
believe it. Second of all, who says he spent the money? Maybe someone else did.
Whoever sponsored the sweatshirt needs a life.
Third of all, it is available for Hanukkah presents. If you want to get your friend one, just let us know and we'll make it happen.
It's TBI. It's the 3 of us back at it again. Midweek, we got to talk, obviously upcoming league week number 2. We're going to obviously talk about the Hanukkah party next week. We'll make some predictions about gifts that should happen. And of course, we'll have our predictions as well for this week. So let's jump right back into it. League week number 2. We've got a very big featured games this week. Logan, you want to start us off?
All right.
First game.
Let's start with Bob versus Dogs, right?
Ooh, I like that matchup.
This is what I would call a premier quarterback battle. And similar to what we did for week 1, I'm going to go through, again, the 3 elements of the game: quarterback, line, and wide receivers corner. So in this game, even if you wanted to make the argument, and I don't agree with this argument, but even if you wanted to make the argument that Prey and Dax are on equal footing at the QB position, and again, I would not make that argument, but even if you wanted to, Prey adds an additional element that Dax is not, and that is that he is one of the best free safeties in our game. He might actually even be one of the best defenders in our game. So because he got excellent, elite quarterback play coupled with his defense, I'm going to give the advantage to Bop on the quarterbacks.
Okay.
Moving to line, you've got DK and Davo versus Legs and Big O. Now, don't get me wrong, DK and Davo is a formidable line. However, DK is young and he's still working a little bit on his craft. And Davo, as great as he is undersized. So those 2 items, coupled with the fact that Legs is playing out of his mind, and O being that veteran that he is, he's huge, he's long, he's great at grabbing flags, I have to give the advantage to the Dogs. Lastly, the wide receiver corners. So for Bop, you've got Yonio, Ivry, Stella, and Ernie. I believe.
Obviously, no Prime this week.
Right, I would say Prime is not playing. And then you've got Mighty, Ross, Steve-O, Waldo, and Blitz.
Right.
I would call this part of the show no Prime, no problem. The arsenal of weapons that Prey has to choose from is what I would call champagne problems. Like, despite the fact that Mighty is the best receiver in our league, and quite frankly, with the number of games he has under his belt so far this season, I feel comfortable saying that. Bop presents too many unfavorable matchups, and I think that's why that Bop has the advantage here. Now, don't get me wrong, don't sleep on guys like Steve-O and Waldo or Blitz. Those guys are still, top second-tier premier players who can absolutely impact the game. But I do think that Bop just has way too heavy of an arsenal in their wide receiver core, so I do give the advantage to Bop. And then my prediction for the game is I see Bop winning this one relatively easily, maybe a 5-3 with a small little sleeper bet. I think if Bop could win 5-3, I think Mighty might have all 3 touchdowns for the Dogs.
Well, I'm going to go a different route here. I agree with a lot of your assessment right there and analysis, but I'm going to go the O Island versus the O Island, because do you throw on Steve O Island or do you throw on Yoni O Island? And right now, whatever side they're matched up on, I'm not throwing there. So that makes a huge difference in terms of the other corner. Prime not being there for Bop, I think, is a difference maker even this week. because now you have the ability of putting Mighty on the other side of the field. I do not line up Mighty on Yoni O's side. That's all I'm saying.
You line him up against Ivry.
So again, so
That's
again,
what we call champagne problems.
so again, in my opinion, I don't think Ivry's as effective. In that, I'd rather see Ivry in the middle of the field versus a corner. He's going to have to play the corner in this game, which is okay. Again, that's fine. But I think that in this matchup right here, the Dogs, I think, have a little bit of the advantage in terms of the speed. And I know that, Prey is going to do a great job of making sure Dax doesn't go deep. Dax doesn't have to go deep. And the line, honestly, of the Dogs, I'm not questioning that line of O and Legs. I mean, come on, guys. Like, O had a huge game. Like, we didn't talk about it last week. O had a huge game. So, like, I'm not taking that away from him. And what Legs is doing right now, the season he's having. So, to me, I think there's a major advantage there. Although the Yoni O Island is something to be scary on the other end. My prediction for this game is very clear. 34-28 Dogs. I think Bop loses in this game.
You think they win 5-4?
I do. Davo, I know you're going to go Bop because that's your team. And that's where you should go. But what are your thoughts on the game?
Well, I'm not going to give my thoughts because I'm too involved in anything I can say.
You just rather wear bananas in your shirt. Okay, keep going.
Listen, what's wrong with the banana? But I think I will lead closer to Logan's score prediction. I'll take your 5-3. I think that it's going to be probably even a little closer than that 5-3 really is. Like a 4-3 game, and then like a very, very late score by Bop to just push it to that 5-3. But a very close game. Let's go Bop.
Okay. Let's go to the next matchup, Logan. What do you got?
Game number 2, Lionhearts versus Crocs. So again, analyzing the QBs, Snow is still really getting his feet wet. He's still reacclimating himself to Juke ball. He's still learning his team.
Can I just cut you off for a second?
No.
I'm going to. Now, we know that this past week there was no football because it was rain, right? Snow was not slotted to play in those games regardless. I actually think not having played the 2 weeks because he hadn't played since the week before that, because it was league weeks the week before, I think it's a huge disadvantage for Snow, right? He has not played in 3 weeks, and he had that crazy walk-off win with Mighty. That's a huge, I think, like, for Zin, it's great because Zin got some rest. Zin was a little banged up from Thanksgiving, but like for Snow, I think that this rest for him is not good. But again, continue. Sorry.
That's all right. So again, he's still learning his team. He's still getting reacclimated to Jew ball. And while every week he plays, he is getting better. To your point, he has sat for 3 weeks. Yaron, on the other hand, is putting up some of his best stats he's ever seen. He's got 3 seasons of averaging 1.8 touchdowns to interceptions. This season, he's at 2.5. I'm going to give the advantage to Yaron over there. The line battle is Beast and Bert versus Kut, Dobbs, Tom, and Sam. I'm not exactly sure who's going to be rolling out for the Crocs.
Yeah.
I'm going to give a slight advantage to the Killer Bees, and mostly because I picked against them last week for week 1, and they absolutely they proved me wrong. So I don't want to let them prove me wrong twice. I do think it's a really, really close, small margin between the two of them, but I am going to go with the advantage of the Lionhearts. And then lastly, the corners. This is what I would call a heavyweight fight. You've got Dax, Jack, and Fox on one team. You got Zin, Rook, and BK on the other. Like, that is really what you call premier wide receiving core. Across both teams, you've got just premier top talent. Zin, although, as you alluded to, is slightly banged up. And Yaron is really, really building his chemistry with Fox. Like, if I told you in week 1, Yaron was going to put up 5 touchdowns and Dax was only going to have 1 of them, you would have told me I was crazy.
Wait, I think we got a Davo report. Davo, breaking news about Fox.
I don't think he is in this week.
Oh.
I think he's in Israel.
That would have been helpful information prior to this, to me taking notes on this.
Gotta follow me on Twitter.
Okay.
All right. I guess I need to subscribe.
Davo Schefter.
And I need to. But anyway, I'm going to assume Fox is playing and he's flying in. He's Star Fox. He can fly in anytime he wants.
Do a barrel roll.
Do a barrel roll.
Listen, if Singer can show up from the airport from Florida back down,
he can take the midnight to 5 a.m. flight into JFK. I'll be ready. Either way, I do think Yaron and Dax continue to gel even more. I can see Dax putting up a couple more touchdowns or 2 touchdowns this game. So I do have the advantage going to the Lionhearts. And then unfortunately for the Crocs, I don't really see this being all that close, although with Fox not being there, that might be different. But assuming Fox was there, I saw it going either 5-2 or 6-2 in favor of Lionhearts. I see them scoring early and often and just having way too many I'd say it's said differently. I think there's just too much that the Crocs can't put up. I don't know that they necessarily have the firepower to be able to battle with Yaron playing the way he is. Although, good news, if this does happen and Crocs do go to 0-2, I don't think that they're out of it. I think that they're a team that is really, really, gelling each week, getting a little bit better with Snow, getting more familiar with stuff. And I think that they do have a chance, even if they do go 0-2, they do have a chance to get hot at the right time and make a real push into the playoffs. But I do see them losing this week.
Okay. Davo, thoughts on this game? Lionhearts versus the Crocs.
So Logan, I appreciate your breakdown, but I will have to disagree.
What else? Who else isn't playing? Who else didn't you tell me isn't playing?
I don't know. But what I will say is this: that I think I would give the edge of the line to the Crocs, not to take away from the line of Lionhearts, but I think between Kuti, Dobbs didn't really get to play line so much in his first game, but I think if you switch him to line, I think that's his best position. He's a large person. He's very overpowering. I think between Kuti and Dobbs, they can wreak a lot of havoc. So I personally would give the edge to the Crocs. Also, they have Zin. So like I give the edge to Zin just about against every person. The Crocs did start to gel towards the end of our game. I happen to like what I saw out of them. If Snow can keep the turnovers down, I think that their offense will be very good. To me, my problem with the Lionhearts is that
you hate your road.
No, my problem with the Lionhearts is that they played the Cobras that weren't even the Cobras. They played against 5-6 linemen. Like I said, they were the Cobras that weren't even really the Cobras. So not to say that Lionhearts is not a good team,
right?
But I want them to prove it against a real team.
Fair point.
Because the Cobras, again, it happens. Scheduling, this person is out, that person out. That's not the team that they bring or are going to bring hopefully every week.
Right.
So not to say that the Lionhearts have to prove something to me, but I would like to see them play real cornerbacks. Okay. I'm gonna go with the Lionhearts in this game
without Fox.
I'm gonna say like 4-3. What's that equate to?
27
at most 28.
So
actually, there's 2-point conversion, so it could be as high as.
Let's do like a 26-21.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, something like that. But I can see the Crocs flipping the script and coming away with the win. I think it's a very
so you're on
close
the fence.
game. Yeah, sure. But I do think the Lionhearts will win.
Peach, what about you? How do you see that game?
Yeah, I mean, this is such a tough one to predict, right? You were talking before about Prey being a difference maker in the Bomb game. Zin is the difference maker, I think, in this game. So the question is, where does Zin line up in this game? Is he the free safety, basically taking away any deep ball from your own?
I think he is.
Or does he match up on Dax and take Dax out of this game? Because I think with Fox not being there, I think if you take Dax out of this game and Zin is primarily on him, I think it forces your own to go to other. Again, not saying the other receivers can't keep up, but I think it makes it a little bit easier for the Crocs. Also, the Crocs have enough players where Snow doesn't have to play D. And I think in this game, because it's such an important game, I don't want Snow out there playing D. I want to keep Snow healthy. I want to keep Snow just focused on playing quarterback. Although we saw that game, we played.
He made a great grab.
Again, that's not taken away from his defense. But I think in this type of game, I don't want to see him out there on D unless it's really, really necessary.
I'd agree. And just overall, his longevity within blue ball this season and future seasons, I think it would behoove the group or the
sure, 100%
defense.
So with that said, listen. To me, I'm all about defense, right? We're all big.
We're all about the D. We love the D.
Here's what I would say. I think what it comes down to is that the defense of the Lionhearts, I think in this game matches up better And because I think that Dax is such a difference maker in his blitzing ability, and because Snow is not the most, mobile quarterback, Dax is going to throw a lot at them. To me, I think this is a lower scoring game. I'm going 20-13 in favor of the Lionhearts. So again, I'm going to take the Lionheart defense over the Croc defense. And by the way, Croc's going 0-2 is a big deal. And Lionheart's going to 2-0. But I think honestly, it's going to take time for the Crocs to really gel. I also have questions about Zinn's health. Right. So with all that said, I think Crocs just keep building on what you're doing. I think you're not, that's a team that, again, come playoff time will be scary to play because they have playoff tested players. But for now, they're still building their chemistry. I'm going Lionhearts in this game. And that brings us to our last game, Logan.
Yeah, so Cronies versus Cobras, two teams who are both looking to avoid that 0-2 start. So looking at the QBs, you got Gronk and Perla. Quite frankly, it's funny because their play calling couldn't be more different, right? You've got Perla who calls plays that he's drawn up.
Well, he's got an armband.
So 50 plays that he has made up days, months out, well before the game even starts. And then you've got Gronk, who doesn't really call plays. Never mind, before the game started. However,
listen, you've been in a Gronk huddle. Gronk either says same play, or you tell Gronk, "Hey, Gronk, I'm going to go deep," and Gronk goes, "Okay, do whatever you want."
Yeah. So he doesn't even call plays.
If you're open, great. If not, and he's going to throw the ball to you. And if you're open, if you drop it, he's still going to throw the ball to you.
He'll go back to you. He has no problem with that. So so their style of play calling is very, very different. Couldn't be the polar opposites. However, their actual style of play, the dinking and dunking and finding that open receiver, is very, very similar. Gronk may go with a deep ball ever so often, but for the most part, he's really more of a short yardage guy, and so is Perla. It's great. He's got better defense. He's the better QB. Moving on to the line. Like you said, we've got Open and Daxi versus a combo of Solo, Spira, Whiskey, and Walls. So I actually am not focusing on what you want me to focus on. I think the Open Solo matchup is essentially a wash. So therefore, again, assuming Solo doesn't have some gastrointestinal problems and actually shows up, I would call that those two are a wash. Now, Daxi, while he may be a monster on D-line, he's still really learning O-line and really, really trying to fine-tune his technique. However, Spira and Whiskey have been playing great. Both those guys have been really, even in non-leagues, those guys have both been playing great on the line. And Big E is coming off of a 3-sack game in week 1 of the leagues. So because of that, again, the Solos Open being a wash, I'm actually going to give the edge to the Cobras here. Lastly, our wide receivers. Storm, Zada, PJ making your debut versus Goldberg, Scharf, MK, and Mike. Even with your debut, although I do think Gronk finds you for a touchdown, that's a sneaky small little bet right there. If you guys want a little parlay that with whoever wins this game, but I do think PJ's has an anytime touchdown this game. But even with your debut and even with you finding for a touchdown, I think the Cobras really, really are starting to gel a little bit, especially with White Goodman and Scharf having that nice chemistry. So I do give the advantage to the Cobras. Lastly, predicting the score and the winner of this game. And again, I know that 2 of the areas I gave the advantage to the Cobras, right? Like the line and the wide receivers. But I do think the difference maker in this game is Gronk, both with his elusiveness on the line, kind of eliminating or nullifying slightly some of that advantage that the Cobras have, plus his defense, which is, again, elite. I do think he's the difference maker in this game. I do see it being low scoring, maybe with the Cronies scoring late to maybe go up by 1, maybe even to PJ's, like I said. But I do see Cronies pulling out a victory 3-2, low scoring game. But I do see it going with the Cronies.
It's hard to follow up Logan. He writes all
I've heard that.
Get into the big matchup, and that's going to be Gronk versus Solo.
Oh, you mean D-line versus tight end? I'm sorry, free safety versus tight end.
Gronk
the quarterback.
Gronk's the quarterback.
No, Gronk as the defender.
Yeah, that's what
Okay, fine. Okay.
See, this is what you the Cobras last game need to block. Perla needs to get blocked. Gronk is probably the best out of sync blitzer. And what I mean is that he comes in perfectly on the snap. Nobody knows he's coming in. I don't think he knows he's coming in until literally that second.
Right.
And he gets there. And I think Solo and Spira, Walls, Whiskey, whoever else is there has to pick it up. I'm putting it on Solo as the main person on the line to be controlling that coverage.
See, he's got to call out the coverage.
Correct.
The blocking.
So that's why I say it's Gronk versus Solo. Yes, you have Open and Daxi who alone are two monsters on the defensive line. But I think with that extra person coming, I think it causes a lot of havoc. And the cronies secondary is not what it is going to be. They have injuries, so a lot of their guys are missing. This is the best game to attack forward, to play downhill against on that rush. I think it's like a 4-1 victory. Let's throw some points in there. Let's say 27-6
in favor of
in favor of the cronies.
You get a blowout.
Yeah, I think Gronk is. And this is also a game where Gronk's not going to throw that crucial interception. I just don't think that the cronies have that the Cobras have those kind of players that Gronk's going to overlook and just and I think he's just going to.
Who's playing safety for the Purple Cobras? Goldberg?
It's a great question. It could be Goldberg, even though I love Goldberg in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather go to the linebacker. I think that's to me. Or you put MK there.
Sharp on the outside.
Maybe rather sharp at corner, right?
Yeah, but
and Pearl is not a guy who likes to play defense. Although he's a solid corner himself, but he's not a guy who likes to play defense. But at the end of the day, I think these two teams are actually a good matchup. Well, I think there's a discrepancy between the quarterbacks. Like you said before, the line matchup is really intriguing. And by the way, I could throw myself out there a little bit of line as well. So if Daxy's having trouble in the O-line, I go out there, I play a little O-line myself. I don't think the line discrepancy. I think both lines are really good. Are they elite? Not yet. But they have the potential to be elite.
By the end of the season, they might.
By the end of the season, they have the potential to be elite. With that said, I think it really comes down to the back end of the defense. I much rather have right now Storm Zada back there with Gronk versus, guys who I think still need to mesh together. I think there's still a chemistry thing. By the way, both teams have a chemistry thing because Gronk didn't play much last year. But I still think like Perla and Goldberg, they didn't play week one together. I think that's an issue. Perla has a great connection to Scharf. So I think offensively they will connect more often than I think than other receivers. At the end of the day, this could be a close one. I can see this being a 2-1 game, 13-6 in favor of the cronies. I don't think the cronies lose. I appreciate the shadow of me getting a touchdown. With Gronk, anybody can get a touchdown, and I think that's the thing about the defense. With the cronies, don't leave guys open. If you're leaving guys open, Gronk is going to take advantage of it.
You can't leave anyone.
He's also so good at being elusive. Like Solo's the guy who think you can catch up to Gronk and make it harder for Gronk. But again, if Open's at 100%, he's going to slow down Solo. And then the other rush defender is going to have a harder time getting to Gronk. Again, I see this. It's an early game, low-scoring game in favor of the cronies. All right, boys. We did it. We predicted it. Most likely we'll be wrong because that's what happens. Somebody will show up we didn't expect. Somebody will not show up that we didn't expect.
The question is, are the games going to happen?
I hope so.
That also, by the way, you
never know, right?
Can you throw that into the parlay?
Why not?
You score the touchdown, Prey wins, and games don't happen. That's
that work?
That's the trifecta of the parlay you want to bet.
Listen, and again, the schedule makers decided to do Hanukkah, which is not the most ideal for for league games. But again, schedule makers did what they thought was best. All right, let's shift into some positivity, and that is next week is the third annual Hanukkah party. This year hosted by Jay, helped out by Yaron and Legs.
Correct. Who I believe in years past have also
yes,
it's not
this is not right. This is not new.
Still appreciate it.
The three of them are the gifts that keep on giving. Honestly, what a great opportunity for everyone to get together, be a part of, be together. We decided on TBI to come up with what we thought would be the most ideal gift. So if you haven't bought your gift yet for your secret, Hanukkah Harry, your secret Santa, now's your time, as TBI is going to help predict what we think should be the gifts given next week at the Hanukkah party. Davo, you want to start us off? Give us what you think would be the most ideal gift for a Jew baller on Wednesday.
Well, first off, I want to just, like you said, the Hanukkah party's coming up.
Oh, by the way, Davo, donuts. How can we forget that? Oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, I should suck it now.
Yeah.
How did I forget that? Definitely. Every year, Davo's Donuts.
Davo's Donuts.
Donuts, unlabeled
Well,
stuff, whatever.
both the unlabeled too, but
Yes.
both Davo's Donuts that he brings to the Hanukkah party. But also, go to Allen's, go to Glick's. Go. Those donuts are worth waiting in line for. They're only there for 8 days. Make sure you get your donuts.
So, thank you guys. We appreciate it. I think the Hanukkah event is probably my favorite Jew Bowl event. I think the draft party, everyone's a little bit on edge. The barbecue by Jay, everyone's a little in and out because it's the summer. The Purim, everyone's a little drunk. Who's coming going? The Hanukkah party, it's just everyone's there and everyone's having a good time. Everyone's enjoying the company of everyone. The wives are there. The wives are maybe having a good time. We don't actually know. Last year we were, graciously.
Well, if Solo shows up, the wives have a good time. But
Hey,
Yeah.
I don't know. DK's got his little man bun going, so he's trying to copy. Last year we were graciously bestowed upon words of wisdom from our local rabbi here, Logan. But if I were to give a gift for a Jew baller,
which I think you will be, but you can't reveal that on.
Correct. If I were to give a gift for a Jew baller that I don't have, I would get them to suck at PJ sweatshirt.
For the low price of 3 payments of
$19.99.
You too can be a Suck at PJ Nation member.
I would get everyone an OnlyFans subscription to TBI.
Aw, so sweet.
But no, in all seriousness, the person I would get something for, I would get something for Steve-O. Some sort of like plaque that says like the wizard or some sort of like statue trophy. That's
nobody beats the Wiz.
I was about to say a store, the Wiz.
Well, I don't have to get him a store. Just
we don't want to close them down. But yeah, but something like that, something you want to get something that people will appreciate, that they'll be proud to have, use, etc. Not just like saying like, oh, Yaron, we should get you a championship, because we know that's never gonna happen.
I mean, we could always as another example of something we do. We could buy Mighty a rule book. That's something that I'm sure he'd appreciate. Now, granted, we wouldn't follow it, but we could get him a rule book.
I definitely agree. Listen, I have a great gift for Big E. That's my seat. As a gift to Big E, I would give him my hosting ability on TBI to Big E. That would be my gift to him. If I had him as a secret Santa, I would give Big E my seat on TBI.
Well, you heard it here, folks, guys. PJ's is retiring.
Not the first time that's happened.
Not the first time he's made that claim. It won't be the last. I'm sure he's not.
But another gift I would go, honestly, for Solo, I'd give him Munch. I'd let him have Munch again. Every week, any week he wants him, he can have Munch lined up next to him. That's what I would do for Solo.
It's a nice gift.
It is a nice gift. Also gets Munch back in Jew Bowl.
Yeah, it's a win-win.
Logan, another one?
Okay, DJ Khaled.
We could get Prey, a new segment on TBI.
Ooh.
We could also get Big E his old segment back.
It's like he's getting hosting abilities at his old segment.
Well, these are gifts.
Yeah, the gifts that keeps on giving.
Yes.
I guess that's what happens when we forget his 3
I mean, he got 3 sacks, so he needs the 3rd gift. So
well, I guess the 3rd gift would be
a W on Sunday.
A suck at PJ's sweatshirt.
A suck at PJ's sweatshirt. That's right. Although something tells me he may or may not have had a hand in either the creation or the.
I'm trying to put on clothes, people. I think a gift to Spira would be Logan to take off more clothes. Maybe just go shirtless for the next episode. I think he would like that.
And then a gift to everyone else in Jew Ball would be for me to put on more clothes.
My gift for Perla, last year he got the Purple Cobra shirt. He created the Purple Cobra's team. I think it's only fitting that White Goodman actually get a global gym. A global gym. He needs a global gym.
I don't disagree.
Yeah. Davo?
You know, I would really love like if Perla gets hit in a game and starts bleeding a little bit.
Yeah.
Nobody
That would be unbelievable.
I think
So
I would just
you want to give his gift to be punishment.
No, I think
pain.
that would be my gift if that happened in a game.
Got it.
I mean, we could give Robin just a bag of unlabeled.
Oh. Yeah.
He just has to take it on a Friday night. This way he doesn't have to worry about missing work the next day. Like, it's the weekday issue. It's not the, right? You could just take it Friday night. Shabbos starts early. Go to bed, wake up. It'll be Sunday.
For Snow, I'm going to give him a time machine. So he can go back
bring
in
back
time,
Singer.
to go back in time and bring back 2013 Singer.
Any vintage Singer is a good gift.
I would take Singer now.
I would take Singer now also, but the Singer we have now does not want to play. But 2013 Singer is playing.
Late to sign up. However, that doesn't mean you can't show up. So you're not gonna be part of the gift exchange, but it's still a great time. The gifts don't matter. Just come. It's a really great time. Even if you didn't show up, even if you didn't sign up, show up. It's a great night. Even if you come late or if you have to leave early, show up. It's a great night. We have a great time with everyone. There's obviously some drinks and like you said earlier, thank yous. I'm sure I'll forget someone, but to Jordan, to Yaron, to Legs, to the band. There's a ton of people who are going to be there. Davo with his donuts. See, I already forgot. Like, there's a lot of people who put in a lot of work. We're obviously going to forget people, but
the band, it's okay.
Whoever is putting stuff together, whoever is donating, whoever is contributing to the amazing event that it is, thank you guys. It's very much appreciated. So don't miss out.
Correct, guys. Also, wrap it up. I'm talking about your presents here.
Oh, I thought you were going to
don't pull it out of like a shopping bag. Wrap it up. You have a wife or girlfriend, do it, because guys know that we can't do it ourselves. At least it won't come out nice. Wrap it up. We have leagues this Sunday. Guys, show up, support your team even if you're not playing. It's just great to have people there watching, taking videos for those who can't make it.
AKA me.
We have liking and sharing and subscribing. And I think that's pretty much it. And again, happy Hanukkah to all Jew Ball. From our couch to yours. We are 3 balls in.
And we are now 3 balls out. Have a great week, everybody.
And he's really upped his game.
And coming off a trip to Mexico. So
Yep.
there you go. He's all relaxed. He's got his Mexican gay parties going on. So he's good to go.
Yeah. PJs, I think maybe you should be sitting in this seat and I should be sitting over there this week. But that's fine. One way or the
You took
other.
enough sacks last weekend.
Well played, sir. So anyway, for the reasons that we just discussed and probably many others.
It could be like a
5-4.
4-3 game, like a 4-3.
Right, I was saying, what is closer than winning by 2? Winning by 1.
I can't agree with PJ, so I got to go 4-3.
No, like he writes all these notes and then he goes through it or he tries to get through it before he gets interrupted, and then he goes, Dave, now it's my turn. And how am I supposed to follow up, because everything that I have written down, Logan has as well.
Because it's a show. That's how you're supposed to follow it up. Let's go.
Well, I'm gonna get.
Do you know what I would love to gift myself?
Ooh. I mean, I can think of 20 things.
Yeah, well, I would love to gift myself a time machine to go back in time and remove this segment.
Oh my God.
Yep, that just happened.
Table, what are we?
We're 3 balls. I don't even know what that.
We're like 2.5 at this point.
We're 3 balls in and we 3 balls out. We all up on your screens like it's prime time.